Hello Orchid friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time watching my video, my channel is all about orchids. From what orchids I have, how I grow them, my thoughts on certain orchid topics, to what orchids in my collection are blooming, etc. So if you want to follow along my orchid hobby adventure, please consider subscribing to my channel and turn on the notification. Today in this video, we're going to look at my sweet memory Liodoro and basically an update to share with you the second bloom and the third bloom and how they do. And also to the bonus footage, I guess, for this video toward the end is the comparison between Sweet Memory Liodoro and Sweet Memory M. Each one of these orchid type, I have two. And I know I've made a video when this Liodoro opened its first bloom, which is some of the photos that you see here. And then I was using some photos from my Sweet Memory M's previous bloom cycle to do some comparison, but I know that it was, not in the same frame and you can't really quite tell exactly the difference because, you've seen something and then you're seeing something else different. You kind of forget about what you have seen just, a couple photos before, for example. So, fortunately, my Liodoro, this year, my Liodoro and Sweet Memory M, they bloomed around the same time, or at least there was an overlap, so I was able to put them side by side, and later in this video you'll be able to see some photos as well as a short video footage to be able to see just exactly how different or how similar they look. If you're new to my channel or to this orchid hobby or new to this type of orchid, Liodoro is a very famous / popular orchid type. It's a cross between Violacea and Devonteriana, and Violacea is a very fragrant orchid species, so this orchid also continues with that trait, so it does have a very pleasant smell, fragrance, whatever you want to call it, and it's quite popular and probably easier. I know it's easier to come by in Europe, but in America, it's more difficult to find Liodoro in the United States for some reason. Probably just because there aren't that many orchid nurseries importing this particular orchid type. But in Europe, I know there are nurseries who would do stem propagation in a bigger scale to be able to sell them commercially. Because I've heard from some other YouTubers in Europe that they could find Liodoros in grocery stores, whereas here it's almost impossible. I've never seen primary hybrid or even species being sold in grocery stores. You almost always have to go to online orchid stores to specialty orchid stores to get to order species or primary hybrids. But anyway, they can be expensive. I mean, Liodoros can be expensive, anywhere from $50 to $75, $80. So just be aware of the price factor. I did get two. I also have two Sweet Memory M. They're really cool orchids to grow. I personally really enjoy their fragrance and their color, and later I will share with you my opinion about what I think of each one of them. And starting here, you're going to be able to see some side-by-side comparison. This was when my Sweet Memory M number 1, because I have two, so the one that you're seeing is Sweet Memory M number 1, opened its first bloom. And then it had this overlap between with my Liodoro, which is on the left, and it basically had overlap with the first bloom, second bloom, and the third bloom. So it was quite interesting to put them side by side just to see exactly what they look like side by side, how they look the same or how they differ. But I'll let you take a look for a little bit, and then I will share with you later in the video about my opinion about how they look the same or how they look different to me. So technically they share the same parentage, but then they look different. But I guess when they first were crossed, a lot of these different type of sweet memories were grown from seeds, so they all look slightly different. And Liodoro was just a very specific type of cultivar that people continue to stem propagate. So essentially that produces exact the same clone. So Liodoros are Liodoros, and then Sweet Memory M by the same token continue to be called Sweet Memory M because they carry certain traits that are slightly different from Liodoro. Anyway, back to my M's, since we're looking at the root system. So my M's, both of my M's are in semi-hydro, and they both are doing great. The roots really love the semi-hydro moisture, the kind of level of moisture and water that semi-hydro provides. So it's really thriving. And this year it put out a second spike, and that spike is currently growing 2 buds. And then the old spike also over the winter continued to elongate and gave me 2 buds, and one of which is in bloom. Liodoro is a very interesting one. This one, I don't know, maybe because Liodoro is Liodoro, so its stem is so much longer. The flower spike is much longer, and if you look closely from some of the pictures before this video clip, you can see that the Liodoro flowers are smaller, and Sweet Memory M flowers are bigger, and the colors are also slightly different. M is more on the pink side, and then Liodoro has a little bit of purplish fuchsia color to it. I like them both very much, but if I were to pick one, I think I will go with Sweet Memory M, just because the flower would be bigger, and I tend to like orchids with a little bit more reddish tint, reddish color to it. Oh, by the way, here you can see the lips are also looking rather different. M has much bigger lips and more on the square side, and Liodoro has slightly more oval shaped lip to it. But anyway, for orchids, even if they have no ID, they're no names, for me, as long as they bloom, they are good orchids. But if you are interested in getting a hold of one of these, you just have to do a little bit of research and you know, ask around. I've seen some people selling their Liodoros on eBay, so check those out too. But you know, if you can afford it, get two. I always say this: if you come across something that you know it's hard to come by and you know that you are gonna get some, if you can afford it, get two. And that's why I ended up with two Sweet Memory M, and two Liodoros. But they all are really good orchids. I really enjoy looking at their blooms, and I hope that I will be able to do a good job providing care, so next time around, they will be able to give me more blooms to enjoy. This is all I have for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to get more orchid related videos from my channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification. I want to wish you happy growing, and I will talk to you in my next video. Ciao!